Let's play a new game. So I play the Grob's opening, and the opponent played d5, then bishop g2, and he took the pawn. So we play Gambit Variation, and I play c4, solidified theory, and now he played his first move, bishop e6. Second time I see this variation. And it's actually a mistake, I think. Yeah, definitely a mistake. So I play queen b3, and now he moved. This time the opponent moved to c8 with the bishop. I took the pawn. He suggests me another pawn to exchange. I didn't take, so I developed my knight. And okay, right now the opponent made a mistake. I think he should have played with knight f6 to force me to exchange the pawn, but now he does, and I take the knight. So he needs to double the pawn. So instead of having nice structure, now he has broken structure and lost one move. I play e3 first, and then I play d4, just to develop my pieces and restrict his position, because with his position he can only exchange pawns, but he cannot take my pawn on d with his pawn e, just in case, because in this case he would have double pawn. I played I didn't take the pawn on b7 because I thought it's much better to develop the knight than to take b7 and get troubles with a developing opponent. So now I push the knight, and now I move to queen d3 just to prevent bishop move to f5 and b5, and after that I play b3 to reduce my opponent's knight move. So we developed bishops, did castles, and now the opponent play e6. I think in this position I shouldn't exchange the pawns. I shouldn't take the pawn, because I should wait until he does it, because his structure is not good. So he realized it and played e5. I played e4. I want to play f4 and attack the pawn e5 that way. He moves the king to the corner. I play f4. And now I have a strange move. Okay, it can be a strange move by black to move bishop g4 to take my knight, but I'm not afraid of that, because his white bishop is better than my knight, because this bishop attacks my pawns. So I'm waiting for exchange. Now the opponent exchange. I think it's not so good, because now I will attack the bishop from knight h5. I will attack the bishop or the pawn. Black don't answer for quite a while, because actually the opponent tries to calculate possible outcome, and the outcome is like this. So I will take the bishop and then win the rook for the bishop, and the position of black will be destroyed. Then I move my pawns to promote to queens. So right now the opponent surrendered, and I'm interested in the analysis. So what has actually happened in this game according to the computer? So first we start with the book games. So it's a theory. Until this move with the bishop e6 is a mistake. I play my queen b3, and it's a great move. So right now, instead of this bishop, you can play e6 or c6. So the engine likes the second move. Both moves are okay. And lead to some advantage of black in the end of the variation. But he played bishop e6, and queen b3 is a punishment for that move. It's a great move. Now he has trouble with b7, so he moved back to with a bishop to c8, and in this case I just take the pawn. So he suggests me the pawn to exchange because he wants to develop his knight, but I didn't want. I play knight c3, and the engine suggests d4. The opponent took the pawn, but in this case it was better to play knight f6 because he wants me to take the pawn, not he takes a pawn himself, because right now his knight is undeveloped. My knight moved, my knight in the center, and his knight is undeveloped. The engine suggests me to take with a bishop. In this case, I can attack the king and take the pawn on b7. But I think all this variation with a bishop and taking this b7 is not so interesting as much as to get better position, because my king is vulnerable because no g4, so it cannot castle normally. Every move is strange. So now he plays knight c6 and I played e3. Computer doesn't like it. It suggests knight f3, but I think e3 restricts the motion of knight, and it's better in such a way. For instance, if I play knight f3, he can play bishop e6 and pin my knight. So I played e3 and he played knight f3. Okay, he could do it later. Now when he plays, I damage his or not damage, break his pawn structure. Now he has double pawn on f7, f6, and I played d4. The idea is to move the pawn to the queen, because if he plays e5, e6, so I can continue moving. He cannot take my pawns. He can only group the pawn e with pawn f, otherwise f pawns will be too weak. So now again I have a bishop played to b7 and I have a chance to take the pawn, but in this variation I don't like this variation actually. In this variation it will be attack. Okay, now it can be attacked by the knight with a checkmate attack, and then bishop. Yeah, it's not even this. I think it could be knight attacks and bishops, and so I don't like this. Knight e2 is very nice move. He played b6, but I think I wouldn't take the pawn anyway. It's poison pawn. Instead he could play rook g7 to attack my bishop. Okay, so for b6 I played d5 and I pushed the knight away. The best move is a5, and I play queen d3 because I want to prevent him to move the bishop to b5 and f5. And now I can play b3 just to prevent motion of the king. So after rook c8 I can play b3 and develop my bishop. At the same time I can prevent knight to move even further. The engine suggests knight b7, of course, and the opponent played bishop g7. Natural move, but the problem is he wants to use the rook here, not the bishop. Then I play my bishop on b2. This is what I wanted, to attack the weak pawn structure. He takes a castle. Again the problem is he should have rook on this side, plus his pawn h2 can be attacked by my knight and queen in case, or by my bishop as well. So and this what is suggested by the engine. The engine suggests right now to play with the bishop to e5 to attack the pawn. h7. So therefore it turns out to be, the castle turns out to be a mistake, but I also made a mistake. I did castle, and I was thinking that simple way that my king would be vulnerable in the center, and here without black bishop of my king feel very cool. The engine suggests bishop e5 to attack fast, but I just decided to wait for a couple of moves. Yeah, right now it's a fast attack to the king side and maybe rook g1, and black feels not comfortable in their bed. However, I didn't do it. I think it's a little bit too early. Better to move the king to h1 first and then perform this attack. So now what happens next is, so he plays e6, and it's a mistake because he cannot take the pawn. I would exchange the pawn with him, but he cannot take my pawn. So because in this case f7, f6 will not be supported, and I support my I want him to exchange, so I support my queen with the rook on the d file, and he actually didn't want. He moved e5. This move is okay. He can move his knight to d6 in the end, but I played e4. Engine said it's a big mistake, but my idea is to play f4 and so develop the attack, block the pawns and develop the attacks on the king side. The engine suggests that I can play bishop e3, and I have no idea what to do with rook e7, rook e8. I just have no idea really what to do in this case. So I played e4, rook, king moved h8, king moved, and I play f4. The engine suggests it's better to move knight to g3, but because there is a variation with a bishop, bishop can attack the knight and kill the knight. But in fact, in this position, it's good because bishop plays against this white bishop plays against my pawns, and after if he changed his bishop, so nobody plays against my pawns at all. So he made a mistake now. So he preferred to make a mistake and take the pawn, and now his position of the king would be bad because he's a weak pawn, the weak pawn on f6. So what I said, so e pawn support f pawns, and now he has only weak pawn on f6. The engine suggests to play f5 to exchange the bishops as soon as possible. But he played with the rook g7. In any case, it would be not good because I take then check, possible check with knight, etc., etc. But he played rook g7, so he didn't do it. So now I played with my knight h5, and I will win the game this way. Even if he plays the bishop to g4 to fork, I'll take the bishop and then take the pawn. So at least I will win the game that way. And there is no other way. So in any case, I'll take the bishop, and after he captures the bishop, I'll take the pawn f6 and win the game. After that, I'm gonna checkmate the. Yeah, he can play something like this, and I will move my rook so it will be safe, and I will win the game. If he takes the rook, the position will be destroyed because now he will lose his own rook or queen. So therefore, in such situation, black cannot survive, and I understand why the black actually surrendered. So the biggest mistake was when he played FE or EF, capture my pawn with his pawn. But actually, I don't consider this mistake as a crucial mistake because the entire position of black was slowly destroyed, and I improved my position step by step. Uh, and notice that in this Grob's opening, it's very important to play precise moves, otherwise black will get advantage very fast. And you can play this game only if in case black don't know how to play, so they make mistakes already in the opening to get and white would be able to get some advantage and develop this advantage uh, to positions like this. I hope you like this game, and I hope you like this tactical game with positional attacks. And finally, I get into the strike snake attack with just few moves. I destroy the position of the black king. Thank you very much for watching this video. See you next time. Bye bye.